Hello, my name is Corey. I live in Brooklyn and I love riding bikes. Yesterday, I set out to set the Guinness World Record for most miles done in a month. I have to begin again today because all of the data from yesterday's ride was inadvertently erased due to accidental touching of the screen on my Garmin solar unit. As I have witness verification for some of the locations that I went to along the way, the actual roads en route that I took cannot be verified, so I have to begin all over from scratch. There were a few other hiccups along the way yesterday. Derailleur hanger bolt came loose, which is a very first in terms of mechanical problems on a bike. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody having a derailleur hanger bolt come loose during a ride, but be that as it is, that happened. So I'm going to start out from scratch today and try to break the current Guinness World Record. After I posted a video about my intention to break the current Guinness World Record, someone mentioned Amanda Corker's record, which is 8,000 miles and significantly more than Stephen Abraham's record. That is true, and I did know about her record. However, I am not a member of the World Ultra Cycling Association. To get and set a World Ultra Cycling record for most mileage done in a month, I would have to pay a membership fee and then pay again to have the results verified, both of which cost several $100s. For me to go out and hammer myself into the ground and ride 7,000 or 8,000 miles and record it all on Strava, ride with GPS, Komoot, Relieve, you name your distance tracking app, that's free. And once all the miles are done, I can compile them and show them off to the world and say like, hey, this is me, this is what I did, this is when I started, this is when I finished. I am now the current world record holder. But since I am not a member of the World Ultra Cycling Association, I have not proclaimed that I am out to set the new World Ultra Cycling Association record. However, my intention was definitely, and it still is definitely, out to break that record. A thing to note is that Miss Corker set her record in Florida, where there is less population density, less traffic density. I live in the Northeast of the United States, where most of the available land is either developed into strip malls, high density residential property, or roads which are filled with lots of fast moving vehicles. To have an idyllic, I'd say a bike path, that's just not feasible, because I would then have to run the gauntlet zigzagging around recreational cyclists, walkers, or people on a stroll with their dogs, kids in strollers, and that kind of thing. So me barreling full gas would be unsafe not only for me, but for those in the vicinity who are just out enjoying a nice bit of recreational time outside while some maniac is zooming by. No, can't do that. I have to ride in traffic. I don't ride with aero bars because aero bars are not the most nimble and able to control one's bicycle in traffic. I'm very good at riding my bike in traffic after years of riding as a bicycle messenger both in Philadelphia and New York City. So aero bars are out. Just be riding a road bike, plain drop bars. Yes, I do have aero wheels, but as far as the controls, I will have just an ordinary set of drop bars. I'll tell you a little story. Buddy of mine, Mike, his girlfriend, now wife, was gonna do a triathlon relay, and they recruited me to do the bike section. Mike did the swim part, I did the bike part, she did the final leg of the event by doing the run into Central Park. In the early morning hours, all of the relay riders were corralled in one area while waiting to start their part of the triathlon. And there was a guy, and he was all kitted out, and he had his spandex on, he had his pointy arrow helmet, and he was making small talk. And I might be gregarious and chatty off the bike, but on the bike, I'm dead serious, like a murder. So this guy starts with his small talk, and he's like, "Hey, what kind of bike do you have?" And I said, "A red one." He's like, no. Like I have an aero that, like that's my bike over there. It's got aero wheels. It's got the time trial bars, which, make my body more streamlined, and my frame is in an airfoil shape so that the wind just goes around it ever so smoothly. And he's like, well, where's your bike? And I'm like, it's over there. It's the one with the red saddle. He's like, oh, it's red. Like, yeah, thanks, Captain Obvious. All I did was add a set of Scott rakes to the handlebars. What I didn't tell him was that at the time it was discovered through wind tunnel test that the Scott rakes were the most aerodynamic of all clip-on bars. But I didn't feel the need to relay all that information because sometimes the stuff that I know is my intellectual property, and I keep it to myself sometimes because if you don't need to know it, I'm not going to tell you. So later on, I get on my bike when it's my turn to ride, and I hammer up and down the West Side Highway from the Boat Basin to the Bronx and back. And because I have cyclocross skills, I dismounted and I charged across the transition area. And Mr. Pointy Helmet, he was there because Mike got to the transition area because he missed his start time by a little bit. And he was like, I've never seen anybody go that fast in the transition area. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I got quads. My legs are strong. My legs are strong. I don't need all that aerodynamic mumbo jumbo. I don't need all the helpers. I don't need all the boosters. I got drive, determination, and I got quads.